New to the function, don't know how to function. I was trying to function with a bitch from the junction. Aqua Bavaka will turn it around. She lighting one up and she breaking one down. Passing the torch and I'm caught in the middle. I'm saying a lot but not making a sound. 3-pointer and it's all on me. 3-pointer and we all take 3. Lame ass nigga if I think about it. So
what's up everybody? This is Colin from Museache.com. I'm with Brooklyn representing HD.
Yo, what's up, man?
What's good, man? I want to thank you again for meeting me out here to do this interview.
Yeah, definitely, yo.
What's good? So right off the bat, man, first question. What's the craziest thing you ever seen on Worldstar?
Oh, Worldstar.
I know that's your site, yo.
Damn. I can't even think. Shit. I seen the shit that inspired Closure. It was like this story about prostitutes and like the behind the scenes of prostitutes and what they go through. It's definitely not the craziest thing I've seen, but that's like what sticks out because it came, you know, it turned into a song. Right. So that sticks out. For sure.
That's cool, man. What's the last 5 things you Googled?
Shit. I Googled Our Last Night, their acoustic album, because I heard them play yesterday. That shit was nuts. Yeah. Album is dope. I Googled Ariana Grande's album to see if it leaked. Word. It did. I heard it. Shit is nuts.
It's nuts? Alright, I gotta check that out.
I'm just a fan of hers. I like her first album too.
Oh, word.
I can't think of the last 3 things I Googled though.
Alright, that's cool, man.
Yeah.
I just wanted to stump you.
yeah, I really can't think of that. Damn. That's a good one. That's a good one.
Cool. So you were saying that you opened up last night in Boston,
yeah.
I know the first time you ever performed, you performed in Boston.
Hell yeah.
How was the first time you performed compared to last night?
The first time I performed, it was like in some basement.
Word.
Like, you know, just a bunch of kids crowded around me. I remember I wasn't that nervous once I started performing, but I remember being like real jittery before getting on stage. Well, not stage, but just in front of the people. Right. And yeah, it was just wasn't as comfortable as last night. Like last night, you know, my homie Maddie was there performing. Yeah. Homie Chris was drumming. Like it was just a fun experience, and the crowd was, I think, just as welcoming for my first show. Yeah, that's the one thing that didn't change. Boston crowd, like they're really open, which is dope. It's really dope.
That's positive, man. I know you performed like 1/3 of the songs on your last mixtape, Stepping Up to Tomorrow. How have you grown, like as a producer, since you've been the hitmaker D?
As a producer, I think these beats on this next project are a lot bigger. Like I'm going for a more musical album. Like I want to, because you know, like albums are like actual albums, like studio albums. They sound like really big. They actually sound like an album compared to a mixtape. My goal is to make a mixtape sound like an album musically, so that by the time it's like I get in the actual studio and you know there's major production behind me, like it's gonna sound nuts if I can do it by myself. At least get it somewhere, you know, a nice invitation of that by myself, you know. So that's where my goal is at right now, just making everything sound bigger. That's
cool, yo. That's actually, it's funny you said that. One of my favorite quotes from you is when you said that the way that you choose beats, you want to choose beats that sound like they belong on an album.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, so, that's one of my favorite quotes from you.
Definitely. You know, I just love when things just sound big. Like, that's dope to me. It's really dope.
That's positive, man. So, you grabbed I Am Nobody's.
Right.
There's what is it, the Dancing in Eden's
track? Yes.
How'd you stumble upon that for your new single, 2 Ps?
2 Ps, yeah, that's the joint. I was just randomly on Bandcamp one night, and I think, I don't know exactly how I found that one. Probably just searching, just random shit. And I found that joint. I think I bought the whole album or just that one track. It was probably a whole album. Yeah. And then, yeah, just recorded the song, and surprisingly, he hit me up. He was like, yo, that shit is hot. So that was dope about it, you know what I mean? Like, the fact that he actually fucks with it. Yeah. Yeah, it was tight.
That's pretty dope, man. So he's a part of this this collection of DJs and artists.
Yeah, Soul Selection. Yeah, it's dope.
Do you want to grab any more beats from anybody else on the roster?
I think I might, you know, because I've always perused Bandcamp and I come across their stuff, and I always liked the sound itself, but you know, a beat never grabbed me to rap on. Like I always loved the beats, but none have caught me to rap on except for the dancing and eating joint. But I definitely think I would like go back and, you know, try to find new flows with all those beats, because there's a bunch of talented people in Soul Selection.
Exactly, man. They focus, I mean, they do a lot of hip-hop beats, but it's like it's blended with electronics.
Yeah, exactly. I love that, yo. I love it. It's like it's so different. It's bringing like a new element, you know what I mean? Like, that's crazy to me.
Is that the element that you're trying to go for on your next mixtape? What is it, TGA?
Yeah, TGA. Not necessarily. I mean, there's joints like that, but that's not what I'm going for as an overall sound. Like, when you listen to the tape, it's going to take you through different, like, feelings through the sounds, you know what I mean? But the overall goal is to get people to understand that it's a human project. Right. And what I mean by that is just, like, it's honest. Like, I'm going to tell you my vices. I'm going to tell you the glory. I'm going to tell you all of that in one story. You know what I mean? Like, it's a dope project.
Right. I know you said in an interview with Hart that you wanted your listeners to connect to what you're rapping about.
Right.
And I feel like that's the biggest disconnect with, like, when it comes to hip hop. How do you feel about that? Like, that disconnect that rappers and artists have with their listeners.
I mean, I don't think it's one of those things that you can necessarily blame on the artist. Like, it's more so the listener's job to kind of find out what the artist means and find a way to connect it to themselves. Like, I can only, you know, that saying, I can take you to the fountain, but I can't make you drink. You know what I mean? That's what it is. It's like, I can put it in front of you, but if you choose to look at it however you look at it, that's on you. Like, I remember I played 2Ps. This was before it came out. I played 2Ps for this one girl, and she was like, oh, yeah, this is a party record. Oh, man, I could get fucked up to this. But it was like, you weren't listening to the record. But I mean, it's cool because she still likes it. You know what I mean? Yeah. But that's what it's all about. It's perception. Is, you know, however you view things. I mean, it's not necessarily that you're wrong for viewing it that way, but I think it's definitely the listener's job to dig deeper. You know what I mean? Like, find something to connect to.
So, you're a 90s baby, man. So
right.
Tell me what's some of your favorite things from the 90s. It could be movies, it could be a trend, it could be music, just something that you fucks with from the 90s. From the
90s, all right. I give you a few. Cool Runnings. Yeah. You seen that movie? The bobsledding movie? Oh, shit, man. Yeah. Watch the movie. Bobsledding, Jamaicans bobsledding in Canada. Yeah. Dope-ass movie. I love that movie. The Lost Boys album, Legal Drug Money. Right. Crazy-ass album. I give you Clothes, Starter Jackets.
Starter Jackets, yeah, man.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, it'll come back in time, you know, man.
Yeah, I mean,
everything was always recycled and.
Hell yeah! I mean, Starter Jackets are coming back now. They're just hella expensive.
Yeah. What inspires you to make music outside of, like, the music world? What gives you that inspiration to, like, go in the studio and, like, write a song?
I think everything is life.
Everything?
Yeah, like this whole album, I wasn't really writing too much. Like, now, being that it's like kind of wrapping it up, like coming towards like more of the fewer songs, you know, just finishing up the tape, you know what I mean? Yeah. Now these are more like just the rapidy rap songs, like, yo, I can rap, you know what I mean? But most of the songs that I write in the beginning, it was all stuff that had meaning, like all those tracks. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like even 2Ps, that's based on the situation. And I think it'll make a lot more sense on the album version. Like the 2Ps track, it'll make a lot more sense in the story. But a lot of it is just based on emotion. I think this whole tape definitely is really, really emotion driven.
Right. So what's the hardest part about just being an artist and just like making music? What's the hardest part to you?
I think it could be that disconnect with the fans sometimes. You know what I mean? Like when some people don't get it the way you wanted them to get it. You know what I mean? Like you might have a line that's like, yo, that shit is crazy. But people aren't reacting to it the way you thought. Like, I remember when Closure dropped, Closure on Stepping Into Tomorrow, that's the second part to Meet Ty. Yeah. Right? On Since Not 4. But the way I put it together, it was like you couldn't really tell it was the second part unless you listened to the first part. And you, like, were listening keenly, like, to make sure that you heard, you know, parts that connected the two stories. But a lot of people didn't understand it until I made the video explaining that it was the second part. So like stuff like that, it's kind of like, damn, I wish people would just pick up on it right away. But as I said, it's all perspective. Like I can't really blame people for not seeing my vision. You know what I mean?
Right. You're talking a little bit about the video for Closure, how you're making a beat and everything.
Right.
I really like that whole entire series of just like making beats for Stepping Into Tomorrow.
Yo,
just that
thank
video
you, yo.
series. What was like your whole idea in just like making that? Because you start off with like a clip from
just a random clip.
These random clips, and you're explaining the whole entire meaning of the song, and then you go into how you make the beat. Like,
yeah.
What's the whole purpose behind that to you?
I mean, the clips was kind of just to bring something that people probably haven't seen before. Like that clip was, I think 80s something in Tiffany's. Oh man, I can't remember the movie. But it was just a random movie that I ended up watching on YouTube. It's like an 80s documentary, and it was really dope to me. So I just wanted to kind of like show that to people while explaining something that meant something to me. You know what I mean? Like, hopefully somebody went and watched the movie, because it's a pretty cool documentary.
I definitely got that movie queued up.
Word. See, stuff like that. Just sharing some shit to people. You know what I mean?
Cool. You got a nice little steam behind you right now. You're doing shows. You're getting a lot of views on YouTube. A lot of people are hitting you up. Do you feel pressured at all to like, put out music or just like make music to satisfy all these like new fans that's coming out? Like, who is HD? I want to hear more from.
Right. Not really. Like, I kind of did, because like I wanted to drop in August, but a bunch of bullshit happened, which is why I couldn't drop in August, which I definitely explain later on. But like that was when I was feeling the pressure, when it was like, all right, damn, I can't drop in August. But like now it's kind of like, yo, Stepping Into Tomorrow, to me, that's like a great body of work, and I know this one is going to be better than that. But Stepping Into Tomorrow is a tape that I feel like you can sit with, and a bunch of new people coming around, it's like, all right, cool, allow them to sit with the tape, understand me as an artist, and then, when this tape drops, I think people will appreciate it a lot more, for sure.
And another thing, man, I noticed that you have a good amount of following across the waters, like in Europe and France in particular.
Yeah,
you got a lot of French followers behind you.
It's
you
lovely.
did an interview for a French blog, another French radio station. I want to believe. How you compare those two fans, like your French fans or just your European fans compared to the fans here? Is there any difference?
You know what? I thought there was a difference, because I figured like the European fans are like, oh yeah, we want hardcore backpack shit. Don't give us nothing else. You know what I mean? Don't give us anything else. We just want that backpack shit. Yeah. But surprisingly, when songs like Know Us dropped, songs like 2Ps came out, they were still fucking with it. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, I don't really see too much of a difference. I feel like I'm kind of just saying this because they've been rocking with me longer. I feel like the European fans might be a little more loyal. Damn, I probably might make people upset. Man. But nah, like, they just show a lot of love. That's just what I'm saying. Like, everybody's like, yeah, you got to come out here. Not to say that my fans in the States aren't saying come out, but, they definitely just show hella love. And it's probably just because it's more of them, so I see more of them. You know what I mean?
All right, man. So just wrap up. I got one more question for you before we go.
Yeah.
AWYA.
Yes.
Accept who you are.
That's the motto.
Have you accepted who you are, man?
I'm definitely accepting who I am. I'm sitting out here in a yellow jacket, yo. A bright-ass yellow jacket. Who does this? Nah, but definitely, like, that's where I'm at, you know what I mean? Like, I'm cool with who I am. I'm not really trying to be anybody else. I'm cool with saying I have influences. I'm cool with showing love to those influences. But I'm also cool with understanding that I'm myself. And I can't be those other people, nor do I want to be. You know what I'm saying? I got what I bring to the table, and people are going to accept that or they're not. And at the end of the day, I accept it. So that's really what matters.
That's good, man. So, any last words you want to say? What's next? Shout outs, anything like that?
Word. TGA on the way. Shout out my baby mama. And peace to Colin, man. Thank you, yo.
Thanks again, man, for the interview.
Much love, homie.